Hi everyone, welcome to the daily update on philosophy, and today I'll be revising and having a general revision on what I've learned during the first few 5 videos of my journey to learning philosophy. So in this video, I'll review all the 5 major parts in this section, as well as what I have learned from them and applied in my life. So firstly, I'm going to compare the math-based centered theory, which states that a ruler is the number of forms and is the ruler of number of forms and ideas, as well as comparing it to the more scientific-based philosophy, which is everything is made of water. So firstly, let me review them. So the rule states that everything follows the rules of even like in the universe, everything follows the rules of the theoretical and mathematical forms and ideas, theories, for example, physics, yeah? So some things like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which means that there's a settlement, like a clear cause and effect. So the comparison, one is more focused on logical reasoning and actual theories, while the everything is made out of water is just pure reasoning. So I think that the scientific one, compared to the mathematical philosophy, is kind of like outdated because firstly, everything is definitely not made out of water, since water isn't just like, it doesn't have like everything in it, although it does have small amounts of minerals that we need. You would need like a whole ocean and it wouldn't like create a single nail, like a screw or something, because it's not really probable to like try and understand that since there's just water, we can make basically anything out of it. And since we already know that there's 3 forms of water: gas, liquid, and solid, which is ice, and we can't really do anything with water except create these 3 forms, or maybe combine them for cooking, for example, which means that in conclusion, I think that the scientific based theory is like basically just throwaway. However, it is a bit interesting. Now, the math-based, it follows a general idea and tight structure, meaning that it has more of a basis and understanding on this philosophy. So that's why, in this situation, I will choose the mathematical philosophy over the scientific philosophy. Next is covering Buddha's philosophy, which is the Eightfold Path, which formed from dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. So, the Eightfold Path, which I've learned, is that basically, if I want to become a better person in general, I'll have to firstly help other people with a good intent, with a good amount, with a good effort, and with the good timing, and like help them only enough, because if I'm helping them too much, they might misunderstand it, for example, as I explained in the Buddhist video. So it can cause a lot of misunderstandings, which is why the main thing I've learned from this is to help only when you're asked to. Because in life, if you're just trying to help, if the other person doesn't need it, you're just gonna be considered as like an annoying tag along, maybe. Like, cause one of my friends at school keeps doing like that, and then she's just an outcast, and everybody like doesn't really like her, which is why I think that to put this effectively, I only help when people ask me to, or if like I find that there's a need for them to be helped, but they're just trying not to show it. Yes, so lastly, Junzi and Tao. So Junzi and Tao, I think, are both Chinese philosophies that are talking about how we change our lives through like Taoism or Junzi or Confucius system. So they both talk about being good people, being wise, being men, and changing our lives. However, they both have different methods and preparations in order to do it. For example, Tao, it has to follow its own book of Taoism and like stuff about Tao. But Junzi, we have to follow like different methods. For example, we have to listen to Confucius like helpings and teachings, because every time he teaches wise things, we have to note it down. So I think Junji and Dao are like teachers and me, because in Gen Z there's also talk about relationships between authority, superior, and like under authorities. So what I think I can apply this to my life is that I can listen more to my parents. I can listen more, like try and listen more to my teachers, obey them. For example, like first time obedience. And then I can also help my friends more, not be mean to them, be kinder, and generally be a better person. So in conclusion, I think that all of these play an important role in my life, and it is crucial for me to understand that I can put this in my life based on the philosophy book, and I can start my basis of understanding what's right and wrong based on this book and this journey. So, as a final conclusion, I would like to say that since learning this book, I've been able to learn a lot and apply a lot in my life. However, it's a bit tiring since I don't want to read about a new way of thinking every night and having to like think about it like every other night, so it kind of gets messed up. But other than that, I'm learning a lot of new things from this. I understand that there are a lot of things that I can put from the philosophy book into my life, and I understand that it's an important subject for my daily life as well as my relationships and my understanding of the world in general. So that's all for this video. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Bye.